Welcome back to the channel. So, deep in the woods here are World War II coolers. Now you've seen The Great Escape, Steve McQueen in the coolers, the German coolers, remember? So, British had them too, and we had a number of prisoner of war camps. A lot of them were up here in Scotland, away from decreasing the chances of possible escapes. But most of the prisoners that were brought up to Scotland from East Lothian were actually keen to work and get paid to work in the farms. But for the naughty ones, you would spend a bit of time in these buildings. So these are the coolers. So as a teenager living on the estate, we used to go into these. So we'll just park up this now. So sadly these have all been vandalised around sort of COVID lockdown time when people were just going out, being stupid folk were going out and destroying stuff. These were vandalised a good 10 plus years ago. Luckily for me, we actually filmed in here a good 15 plus years ago, so I've got the footage. It's not very good quality, maybe 360 or 480, but I'm going to stick it on anyway on this film. So as you'll see here, it's all locked up.
Someone's tried to go in, so they've had to lock them though because of the vandalism, sadly.
Like a time capsule in these buildings, or it was until the windows were broke and a lot of the rainwaters took the plaster and whitewash off the walls, sadly, and a lot of the writing the inmates had left when they spent their few days or a couple of weeks, I think max, they could spend on the Geneva Convention in these buildings. So this first building is actually the guard room. See the lockers here, and these were heated in winter as well with a boiler, a stove basically, heated water and piped around the buildings. And here's some of the cells. So there's only a couple of cells in this building, but we'll go into the other building, let you see. So I say sorry about the quality of film, it's done a long time ago with an old camera. But some of the graffiti on the walls is quite fascinating. So we got toured round here, shown round by old Rudy, who passed away a few years ago, who lived near my mum in Longniddry. So Rudy was a POW, he'd fought in the Eastern Front, and he's from East Germany. So once he was captured, he was here. Look at that. Was that like Art Deco or what? The old 1930s looking. So he basically had wrote home at the end of the war, and there was no response. Didn't know what happened to his family, so he stayed here, as a lot of these guys did. They stayed in the UK. And Rudy actually ended up working on the farm here. Lovely guy, and he brought us in here one day. We were actually pheasant beating, and the shoot had finished early. And he was reading out all the poems on the walls. A lot of this is all gone now off the walls, sadly. But you can see some of the writing here. So there was still some art visible when I filmed here 15 odd years ago. There was a face on the wall and a crane bulldozer thing, and then there was also this beautiful aircraft drawing. But when we were kids there was a lot more, so it was quite interesting that Rudy said he never knew any real Nazis, and that's been a real sort of, we were brought up thinking all Germany was evil and people were evil, and the reality is it was only a small bunch of the German army that were like that. Whatever folks' views are, these were just normal men, soldiers, and the British had a lot of respect for the Wehrmacht and for Luftwaffe as well. Yeah, it's like a time capsule in here. Here on the wall, outside of the cells, must have been a guard who's drawing, see like the Kaiser? With the helmet, the old First World War style helmet. And you'll also see the dagger through the heart, there it is. Now, I've seen that carved on beech trees. So there's a row of trees about 50 yards apart, all the way up from Aberlady up the woods, back to the camp, painted white. And that was for the British and Polish troops when they were down in Aberlady at the pubs, finding their way back in the dark. So there's a spooky thing with this cell. This was the back cell, and it's only got high up windows. This was more of an isolation cell. I found that in that cell, but it did have, when we were kids, a German eagle and swastika on the wall. And Rudy said that's where the die-hard Nazis were put in, out the way, he said, so they didn't cause trouble. The war might have been over for those guys, but they seemed still, they were fanatical, he said. So there's how long they've been in, look at that. So another interesting bit of East Lothian wartime history that most folk won't ever get to see. Let's go up the camp road anyway.
So at the end of 1945, there was 4,000 German prisoners of war at Gosford. Many of them would stay here and start a new life in Scotland, living locally. On the left here was a football pitch, you'll see on the maps, and you'll see all the Nissen huts. So this was the main camp building. So when we were kids, there was metal fencing right around us, and the searchlight towers were still there. So there should be an old... The painting's now gone off the buildings. There used to be a B block. There it is there. See the name, the number? It's A and B block. It's quite interesting. But this was all Nissen huts, all that field. There's not much left that's original though, sadly.
And that cottage was the camp commander.
Oh, there's all the bales coming in. Silage. Oh, busy coast road.
There you go, a bit of local history. So have a click on the links below of the East Lothian at War website, and you can read a few stories related to the camp and some of the soldiers that came, lived here, and then a lot of them did revisit here later years, and they met those that stayed here. So thanks for watching as always. Catch you all again soon. Bye for now.